Ukrainian destroy Russian tank and helicopter over reservoir near Kiev. A Russian helicopter has been shot down by Ukrainian forces using an advanced British missile system. Dramatic footage circulating online shows a high-velocity Starstreak projectile destroying an aircraft in the Luhansk region of eastern Ukraine. Starstreak missiles are thought to be the fastest ground-to-air missiles in the world and are a key part of Britain's ground-based air defense capability. The portable system is built by defense firm Thales at their plant in Belfast and was used to protect London during the Olympic Games in 2012. The Ministry of Defense has said it's the first time the missile has been used to bring down a Russian plane during the conflict, according to reports. In the video, the helicopter can be seen hovering in the sky before bursting into flames and falling to the ground after its tail is struck by a missile. One from last week shows a Russian helicopter flying low just above the tree line in the hope of avoiding what's about to happen next. Tracking its path is the smoking trail of a surface-to-air missile. In a matter of seconds, the missile has found its target. On impact, the Russian helicopter crashes to the ground before bursting into a fireball. Justin Bronk, a research fellow on air power at the Royal United Services Institute, says there's been visual confirmation of at least 20 Russian aircrafts shot down in Ukraine so far, both helicopters and jets. That's significantly fewer than claimed by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, which says it has downed 48 Russian planes and 80 helicopters. Yet even the lower number shows Russia's struggle to gain supremacy in the skies. Before the war began, Ukraine's military aircraft were outnumbered at least 3-1 by those that had been amassed on the border by Russia. Shoulder-launched air defense missiles are known as MANPADS. Man-portable air defense systems are just one of the weapons that Western nations have been supplying to Ukraine. They include the infamous US-made Stinger surface-to-air missiles, scourge of Soviet aircraft during its occupation of Afghanistan in the 1980s. Exact numbers are hard to come by. Last week, Mr. Wallace told the BBC the West had now delivered thousands of anti-tank weapons and over 1,000 Stingers. CNN, quoting a U.S. defense official, put the total at 17,000 anti-tank weapons and 2,000 Stingers sent by the U.S. and NATO allies. Britain and America had provided weapons to Ukraine before the invasion began on 24th February, with the UK delivering 2,000 light anti-tank missiles, NLAWs, commenting on reports that they were already being used to destroy Russian armored columns. Mr. Wallace said, "We've got anecdotal evidence to verify that." How are the weapons getting through? The UK says it is helping facilitate the deliveries of these weapons. Western officials, though, are not giving details of how the supplies are getting through. But it's no secret that while Russia's military operations have been focused in eastern Ukraine, the flow of people and supplies from the west of the country has continued via neighboring European states. The BBC has spoken to the defense ministries of Estonia, Sweden and Denmark, all of whom confirmed their weapons supplies had been tracked and successfully reached Ukraine in recent weeks. So, how much difference are these weapons consignments making? Weapons supplied by the West can make a difference, but only if Ukraine continues to have armed forces capable of using them. Mr. Bronk says Ukraine's ability to retain some of its older Soviet-era air defense systems, which have a longer range, has forced Russian aircraft to fly lower, but that makes them more vulnerable to the shorter-range surface-to-air missiles being supplied by the West. Without those longer-range air defense systems, Russian aircraft could fly higher to avoid the dangers of shortage-range air defenses. Meanwhile, America and European allies are looking to increase their arms supplies to Ukraine. There may be a limited opportunity before Russia tries to target any supply lines of weapons. The U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has said he has had talks with Poland about its supplying Russian-made MiG fighter jets to the Ukrainian Air Force, but even if that happened, Ukraine would still need trained pilots to fly them. The supply of Western weapons helps, but you still need an army that knows how to use them. Shoulder-launched air defense missiles, also known as man-pads, man-portable air defense systems, are just one of the weapons that Western nations have been supplying to Ukraine. They include the infamous US-made Stinger surface-to-air missiles, scourge of Soviet aircraft during its occupation of Afghanistan in the 1980s. Exact numbers are hard to come by. Last week, Mr. Wallace told the BBC the West had now delivered thousands of anti-tank weapons and over 1,000 Stingers. CNN, quoting a U.S. defense official, put the total at 17,000 anti-tank weapons and 2,000 Stingers sent by the U.S. and NATO allies. Britain and America had provided weapons to Ukraine before the invasion began on 24th February, with the UK delivering 2,000 light anti-tank missiles and LAWs, commenting on reports that they've already been used to destroy Russian armored columns. Mr. Wallace said, "We've got anecdotal evidence to verify that." Rifles and ammunition. Most countries, though, only started to send weapons in response to the Russian invasion. In all, 14 nations have supplied arms. They include Sweden and Finland, both of which have a long history of neutrality and are not members of NATO, but both have sent thousands of anti-tank weapons to Ukraine. Germany has supplied 1,000 anti-tank weapons and 500 Stinger missiles. The Baltic states have also delivered thousands of weapons, including Stingers and Javelin missiles, one of the world's most effective anti-tank weapons with a range of 2.5 kilometers or 1.5 miles. Ukraine says it has already successfully destroyed several Russian T-72 tanks. Recent weapon deliveries also include tens of thousands of assault rifles and machine guns, anti-tank mines, and hundreds of tons of ammunition, as well as body armor and helmets and medical supplies.